What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have our super high powered Talaria XXX and we have a new part on it. We got an upgraded Surron motor. So this is their FW01 13 kilowatt motor. It's running a Hall sensor, and the reason we got it is because we were having major motor overheating issues anytime we would ride this bike. With the power turned up, the stock motor just really could not handle it. Reed's not in this video. He still kind of has a broken wrist. It's not quite strong enough to ride hard with us. So me and Alex are out. We're gonna be testing this setup, see how it performs, see if we can get it to overheat, and we're turning the power way up from what we were previously running. So hit that subscribe button. We're gonna start on the road, and then we're gonna switch to some dirt tires and do some steep dirt climbs and see if we can get this motor cooked. Some of you guys will also notice that this is an EBMX X9000 controller, and that wasn't previously on this bike. We had our Nucular P24F controller. The reason we swapped for this video is because this motor is capable of running much higher phase amps, which is torque, than our old controller could handle. So we swapped to the X9000, see what this motor really feels like with a ton of phase amps, ton of torque flowing through it. So we're gonna test that in this video, but what we've kind of come to the conclusion of so far in riding it is that running 500 phase amps, which is what our old controller was limited to, is enough. So we're probably gonna put that controller back on soon, because this controller is gonna go on our E-Ride Pro SS very soon. We have the full wiring custom mounting kit coming for it, so stay tuned for it. It's either gonna be our next video or in 2 videos, so stay tuned for that. The cool thing about the 2 bikes we're riding today is they almost have the exact same power upgrades. The performance upgrades on these bikes both include EBMX X9000 controller, EBMX race spec battery. So these batteries are both rated at 30 kilowatts peak power. This one is obviously in a little different case hidden inside here. That one is just your typical Talaria race battery, and both are running a Surron motor. That's the Talaria version connected to a gearbox. This is the version connected to a belt and a jack shaft, but both of them are literally running like the exact same amount of power. So we're gonna see how 2 bikes feel and compare. This bike is a good chunk lighter than this one, probably a good 15 pounds or so, which is noticeable. So we're gonna head out on the road, see how these bikes compare. We'll probably do like a short pull or drag race or 2, but we're not gonna go too crazy. These bikes are just so insanely fast that it's kind of just more like knowing you have the power there is enough than actually doing 80 or 90 miles an hour, which these bikes are capable of doing. Alright guys, as we get this ride started, if you're new to this channel, we really appreciate you guys watching. If you end up enjoying the video by the end, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And if you're new to this channel, there's 3 of us. I'm Lance, this is Alex, and my brother Reed is in this channel. He has a broken wrist, so he's not riding today. But we're testing out some high-powered bikes today, and it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna see if we can overheat this motor. For reference, both these bikes are capable of running about 25 kilowatts of power, which is obviously a huge amount compared to a stock bike. This bike is only 6 kilowatts stock. That bike has 8 kilowatts stock. So I'm running 4 times the power of stock. He's running 3 times the power of stock. We've previously done top speed runs with full moto street racing gear and, you know, proper setup to be able to do that, and that bike went 85 miles an hour in the exact setup that it is running right now. This bike should be well capable of doing the same thing, potentially even a little bit faster, because it's about 15 pounds lighter. It's a little bit more aerodynamic in the way the frame is set up and things, so maybe even just a couple miles an hour quicker, which is awesome to see. We do have another high-speed test coming up soon where we're going to be taking a couple different bikes and making some changes to see if we can go even faster. So stay tuned for that video. We'll probably take this out to do a top speed run on it with our new motor setup. So drop a comment if you want to see us take our Talaria XXX to do that. You may have also noticed that there is a license plate on both of these bikes. So That was a little bit of a tricky deal, but we were able to get it done. We are in the state of Utah. We're not going to really give you the exact steps to be able to do it because every state is so different on their rules and regulations, and if you're able to make these bikes street legal. Our recommendation would be to read up on your local laws and things, and then go to your local DMV, be really nice, and see if you can get one of the workers there to work with you, learn the process, and essentially figure out how to get this bike inspected and made street legal, which is what we did. So if you guys are interested in doing that, that is my recommendation. I really can't tell you exactly how to do it, but I wish you the best of luck, because it hasn't worked for everybody, but we were lucky enough to get a couple of our bikes registered, which we're super stoked about because we love to ride on the street as well as the dirt setup. So with that, I'm gonna blast past Alex here. Oh, he thought about going fast at the same time as me. This bike is fast. Woo-wee. All right, back to talking about our upgraded Surron motor that we just put in this bike and the reason why we did it. So before we put in this motor, we were running an upgraded controller and an upgraded battery, but the stock motor. That stock motor really was only allowing us to push about 12 kilowatts of power, which is a lot. It's still way more than stock, but what would happen is if we would run that 12 kilowatts consistently, or on a steep hill or something where the motor was under a lot of load, our motor would overheat. When it overheats, the bike cuts power, it slows down, and then it's basically no fun to ride because your motor's just too hot. So that's why we got an upgraded motor. Now we have the Talaria version of this motor in that other bike that Alex is riding, and we haven't had a single overheat issue. That motor runs super cool. So with that, we're super excited to be able to push this bike harder. Now with the upgraded motor, we're able to run way higher power, almost double what we could on the stock motor. So now we can run about 24-25 kilowatts. The motor still has potential of overheating when you run that high of power, but this motor will never overheat at 12 kilowatts or 15 kilowatts, you know, those lower numbers that you're going to be running the majority of the time if you're off-roading. It's really only on the street that you can even start to think about running higher power than those numbers, 12 to 15 kilowatts or so. Okay, ready, set, go! Oh, he's actually pulling harder than me. Wow. I wonder if my settings are turned up all the way. Dang. Dang, this bike is fast. That's a lot of smoke. Whoa! Have we ever had that much smoke? I don't think we've ever had that much smoke. Let's get out of here. Yep. Time to go. Well, we made it to the dirt. We got the knobby tires on. We got Reed's blue wheels and Lance on the fully built Surron. And this is a crazy steep hill. It goes way up the mountain up there. We're gonna see if we can get this motor to overheat, because last time, Lance, you're in shorts.
It'll be easy to keep up with you even in shorts.
All right. As I was saying, last time, Reed cooked the stock motor, so I think this motor is gonna hold up great. And we'll see if I can keep up with Lance. I don't think I can, but we'll try.
Ready?
I'm not even on. No shot, no shot. Well, we're gonna see if I can actually keep up. I can't go yet. I got. Flying through some whoops. He's moving. Dude, this bike flipping rips.
I've not spent very much time off-road on this thing, and Reed keeps telling me that it's the funnest thing ever. Oh, it's so nimble and light, and now with that motor, it's never gonna overheat. Oh, I keep breathing way too hard. This is nasty stuff. Yeah, by now that stock motor would have been overheated and we'd have to wait and maybe not even make it up this hill. But as you can see, I am completely flying up this mountain. We are up here. I saw Lance wait for me. I'm not really this close. Okay, now for the next segment. Starting it off strong with a stupid steep hill. But we're keeping up with Lance. We just met some guys on some 110s back there, took a break. They were fans of the channel, even riding gas bikes. Whoa! Speaking of, there they are. Guys, with the stock motor, Reed overheated this bike 3 times in that section that you just saw. That's crazy. This thing wasn't even close.
All right, we made it to the top of the hill climb. Alex, how did the bike do?
Guys, I'm super impressed with this bike, especially that motor. In the section that you guys saw, that short, I don't know, mile-long section, Reed overheated the stock motor 3 times. We stopped 1 time just to check motor temps, talked to a guy on a pit bike we found. But all in all, the bike feels super planted. It's super fun to ride off-road, but it did better than I thought it would, really.
Yeah, there really is a ton of talk online and on Facebook about how the Talaria XXX sucks off-road. Don't buy it if you're gonna do any off-road. And while I think there is a very small case for that because the bike comes with street wheels and 17-inch Supermoto tires, the bike can absolutely off-road and it's a ton of fun. Now, I know that our bike has some upgrades. Like it does have some upgrades, okay?
Well, to name them off, let me see if I can name a lot of them off. We got wheels, front and rear. We have a 72-volt battery. We now have that Surron motor up front. And the best controller you can buy, the EBMX X9000. Well, one of the best. And all these other knickknacks. So it is heavily upgraded, you guys, but the bike rips.
But even in stock form, the bike really does just fine. So don't hesitate. If you have the money for an XXX, one of the lower budget options for the getting into the E-moto class, still an excellent bike, still has a ton of power, great range, and you can still absolutely put some dirt tires on it and rip it off-road. With that, guys, we really appreciate you guys watching this video. It was a little different than some of our others. We're not testing a million things here. We're just testing one part and kind of seeing how it changed the bike. I think it made a huge difference. We're really excited for Reed to be able to get on this bike. He absolutely loves ripping the XXX off-road. It's like one of his favorite bikes to ride off-road. He just likes the way that it feels. But that was a huge downer, having the motor overheat. Like, he couldn't even keep up with a lot of our stock bikes because the motor just kept overheating. But with that, guys, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, check out our online E-moto parts store, link in the video description. Use our discount code. We'll catch you next video. See ya.
See ya.